Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just 25 days away from its official release by Disney, Lucasfilm, J.J. Abrams, and even creator George Lucas, that is all set and ready to end the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one aspect of Episode 9 that a lot of fans are truly looking forward to and are very worried about is exactly how they are going to wrap up the entire Skywalker saga and exactly how this movie is going to change the past 8 Star Wars movies that come before this one. Now, in case you guys did not see it, just today on Good Morning America, we got an official clip for The Rise of Skywalker that we actually covered a couple of hours ago, if you guys want to go ahead and check that out. But past all of this, a lot of fans have been wondering about Kylo Ren, Rey, and Palpatine, and exactly how all these different characters will be utilized in Episode 9, and exactly how everything is going to open in Episode 9. Now, with that being said, these past couple of months or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and what's really intriguing has all to do with the opening of The Rise of Skywalker for Episode 9 by J.J. Abrams. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that there is a traditional shot of space just after the opening crawl before the camera shifts down to the unknown regions, giving fans a glimpse of the world of Exegol that is said to be the personal hideout of Palpatine. It's explained that this is where hundreds of Imperial-class Star Destroyers are seen erupting from the surface of this world, where tons of lightning can be seen in the background, where it begins to transition to a distant shot of what appears to be around 500 Star Destroyers, slowly making their way up to the atmosphere of Exegol, where they are all surrounded by a constant lightning storm. Now, it's explained that the opening of the film is based in the unknown regions, before it cuts over to Kylo Ren sitting in his chambers, holding the pieces of his shattered helmet, where he puts the pieces down on a table while working on his cross-guard lightsaber and tinkering with it, to where he looks at a metallic box and begins to open it, where it reveals the melted helmet of Darth Vader. This is where Kylo Ren begins to hold Vader's melted helmet in a Shakespeare fashion, where he begins communicating with the helmet, where dark side whispers can be heard in the background, and even the Vader breathing. However, this is said to be Palpatine acting as Vader's spirit to trick Kylo Ren into believing it is Vader he is talking to. Palpatine indirectly informs Kylo Ren of the location of Vader's Wayfinder device over in the Outer Rim that will lead him to the unknown regions. This is where it's said that Kylo and his Knights of Ren group up and board his shuttle and arrive on a foresty world with some stormtroopers as well and begin to attack the clan that is said to be protecting ancient Sith lore. Kylo Ren and his Knights of Ren are said to slaughter these villagers and warriors protecting the Sith relics, and specifically Vader's Wayfinder device that is similar in design to a holocron. Eventually, Kylo and the Knights of Ren slaughter the warriors, where flame troopers burn down the forest as Kylo kills the last remaining clan, obtains the Wayfinder device, and boards his ship with the Knights of Ren. This is where it's said to cut to a segment in which Kylo Ren and his Knights of Ren obtain the hyperspace routes they need to find the location of Exegol, which is actually said to contain the very depths of the dark side. They make one stop in the Outer Rim to the Dark Spire, where they meet with the forger who puts Kylo Ren's helmet back together into one piece by using a red crystalline adhesive. It's explained that they eventually leave the world and travel to Exegol, where Kylo and his Knights of Ren enter Palpatine's base that is shaped like a large cube. This is where they find Sidious on his deathbed, with his Sith loyalists by his side, around 4 to 5 of them, where Sidious is said to be on the verge of death and tells Kylo he is Darth Sidious. Kylo doesn't believe it until Sidious tells him how he was the one who created Darth Vader and even reveals a hologram of Vader with him as proof. This is where Sidious promises the power that Darth Vader once had that can be given to Kylo Ren if he brings Rey before him. Kylo is said to ignite his saber and holds it to Palpatine's neck, where Sidious laughs, where Kylo Ren then realizes that he must find Rey now as he learns she is connected to Palpatine's bloodline. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, the thing about Episode 9 here is that yes, it is all about family, and that right in the very beginning of this film, we're going to learn exactly who Rey really is and exactly who she's really connected to. As it turns out, she is connected to the Palpatine bloodline. Now, this most certainly connects to the previous leaks that we went over, that she is actually said to be Palpatine's granddaughter somehow, some way, by Palpatine using a power to transfer his DNA over to Rey's mother, which hence led her to giving birth to Rey. So, what's really interesting about the opening sequence of Episode 9 that I really want to go over here, that I think a lot of fans are going to either be very, very much in tune with this or very divided about this decision, is, of course, the sequence in which we do have the opening of Episode 9 unveiling a major revelation related to Rey and exactly who she really is. So I think the real take here is that J.J. Abrams wants to set it up where the fans are going to believe that maybe Palpatine is lying, that Rey is indeed, connected to the Palpatine bloodline. That's possible, but later on it will be confirmed through various visions that Rey actually will see through the dagger that we will go over later on, throughout this week. Now, what's really interesting about this is that, of course, we have a segment in which we also have a moment in which Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren go over to a strange world that is actually said to hold many different clans that are protecting Sith lore, Sith artifacts and relics, if you will, one of which is said to be the location of Darth Vader's Wayfinder device. Let's talk about this Wayfinder device. I know a lot of fans are very confused about what in the world this thing really is. This Wayfinder device obviously is like a GPS. It's basically going to give you the hyperspace routes over to the world of Exegol. Exegol is the world that takes place over in the unknown regions and is said to be the very location of Palpatine's hideout and base, and is also said to be the place where all the Star Destroyers are hidden and stored away. The very beginning is said to open up with a traditional space shot that pans down, of course, to the world of Exegol, giving us a shot of all the Star Destroyers erupting from the surface, which also alludes to what we saw briefly in that teaser trailer and/or final trailer, I should say, just a couple of weeks ago during the month of October, on October 21st. Almost a month ago, I must add. Over a month ago. So, with that being said, the one piece that I actually find to be quite intriguing as well is how Palpatine is said to be masking himself as Darth Vader's spirit, where Kylo Ren is communicating with the Vader helmet in a Shakespeare fashion. Now, in case you guys are very unfamiliar with Shakespeare, this is basically the to be or not to be moment between Kylo Ren and the melted helmet, where he's holding it with one hand and holding it in front of his own face, and really kind of just delivering dialogue to the melted Vader helmet, where you do hear the dark side whispers, as well as Vader's breathing in the background. Very intriguing stuff, I gotta say, how Palpatine is still using his expert manipulation techniques to get Kylo Ren over to the strange world in the Outer Rim, for Kylo Ren and his Knights of Ren to slaughter their clan members in order to obtain Darth Vader's Wayfinder device. Now, like I say, Palpatine is still going to be the ultimate puppet master, even though he is on the verge of death in this movie, and this is not a trick by Palpatine. He is literally dying in this movie, in the first and second acts of Episode 9. Palpatine, of course, is going to have, various scenes with Kylo Ren in the first and second act where Kylo comes back and forth, and that's going to ultimately lead to the moment in which we have the major battle at the very end of Episode 9, as we went over just yesterday. So what do I think about Palpatine, being on the verge of death for a majority of this movie? I'm kind of on and off about it. It still is very true to how they treat Palpatine in Dark Empire, so I really can't complain too much, because this is something that was already done in the expanded universe, and I think it's honestly perfect. The fact that they are exploring a Legends story that surrounded Palpatine, where he was basically on the verge of death. However, he had dozens of clones backed up, where he eventually uses essence transfer to travel into a healthy, younger body of his. Whereas in this movie, he's going to use a new power called Force Conduit that allows him to drain the Force power from both Rey and Kylo Ren, a Force dyad, if you will, where they are basically a battery for Palpatine, and allows him to literally rejuvenate himself into becoming young again, or at least more energized, if you will. So basically, I would like to hear what you guys have to say about the opening sequence of Episode 9, ranging from, the Knights of Ren, Kylo Ren, Palpatine, everything related to Darth Vader's Wayfinder device. It really seems like it's going to be quite an interesting experience for the first frames of the movie. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.